Hi there, this is Aaron. Today is Saturday the 15th of June and this is day 5 on the allotment. It's really interesting actually because when I set off this morning the sun was shining really brightly, so I set off on my bicycle and arrived on the allotment about, I don't know, 10-15 minutes later. I did notice that there was a bit of a headwind as I was cycling in, which made it a little bit harder going. It was a bit more of a burn than usual, but still got here. And then, I don't know if you can see outside, as soon as I've arrived, the heavens opened and straight away the rain came down. Now there's all the old experienced gardeners that are saying, oh, you can't let rain beat you, you've got to carry on, and so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to let some of it pass, I think. Sort of ease myself in gently to rainy gardening weather. So what we're going to be doing today, I'll let the rain pass for a bit. I'll just have a bite to eat and a little bit to drink, and then hopefully the rain will have passed and we can get down and have a look and see what's happening. Right, here I have growing, these are root vegetables. This is actually, oh God, you eat it at Christmas, I can't remember the name of it. Growing here, I've got parsnips. Now, this is what I've inherited, and this is last year's parsnips, but they've been in the ground. Now, what reading about crop rotation has told me is that I can't just plant anything in here. I can't just rip these up and plant anything in here. And what I should be planting in here are potatoes next, but I need to have limed the soil first. And I need to lime the soil in early spring. Now, I didn't do that, I didn't have the plot then. So this soil, A, hasn't been limed, and B, has got root vegetables in it. So I think what I've got to do is not plant anything in here, because originally what I was going to do, I've got to finish off my second bed. I've got my first bed. What I was going to do is dig this bed and plant other crops, but there's something already growing in here and it probably wouldn't be the right soil. So what I've got to do is probably dig another one further down rather than this one. So go to where there's nothing growing or nothing of any importance, rather than what I know has been growing and will not leave the right nutrients in the soil. So that's what crop rotation has taught me. So all that is a way around about saying that today I'm going to finish off my second bed over here and dig that all the way out, and if I can I'll get a third bed dug over there and all the way down, ready to plant something else in there. Along here is where I planted my beans, and I've got little bits of green coming through. I'm sure that most of it is weeds, but every now and again I'm seeing something that looks as if it might be encouraging as to it being a bean coming through. I won't know, possibly for another couple of weeks. This has now been 2 weeks since I planted the beans. See, there's maybe something coming through there, maybe something coming through there, maybe even something coming through here. I don't know, but as it grows I'll find out more. Over here on my potatoes, now this end of the soil I didn't weed as well as the other end, and I can see what I think are weeds coming through. I'll leave them for a little bit, but I think there are weeds coming through. But there might also, there just might be a potato coming through, and that's where I put them. So I might have something good here, which would be rather amazing. Again, I think it's going to be a couple of weeks before I can see. By sort of hopefully next week I'll be able to see what is a weed and what isn't. So those are my 2 beds where I have got something. I will pull up these parsnips because I think the sooner they are pull up and just let the ground rest and maybe even lime it, then sort of it'll be good for growing potatoes next year. So next year potatoes are going to go here. This has been potatoes this year, so next year that's going to be beans. This has been beans this year, and so this is whether or not they come up or not. So next year they will need to be brassicas. And another one that I dig here, after that will be root vegetables. So really and truly that would need to be brassicas, except it's probably very, very late to plant brassicas now. So I'll have to muse on that. But that apparently is making the soil work for you in the best way. So right, I finally remembered what parsnips are, and what they're called, and what they look like. So that's the plan for today. I think it's going to be raining on and off. I'll get done what I can. I'm not sure I'd stand out here in a monsoon, but a little bit of rain would be alright. Hopefully the rain will clear and it'll be a nice day at some point. We'll see, but for now I'm going to get on with it. Well, I got here at 1 and, oh sorry, getting a bit shaky there. It tipped down immediately that I was here. Then it eased off a bit, so we started work. It's now 21 minutes past 3, and I don't know if you can see the sky now, but absolutely clear blue sky. There's barely a cloud in there. You wouldn't know, and it's actually heating up quite a lot. I was here with a waterproof on. There's only me and one of my allotment neighbours that were here. Everyone else ran for cover. I do get the feeling that there's this idea that, okay, well, let's see what the new boy's made of. Will he stay? Will he come? Will he turn up each weekend? Will he stay when it's a bit of rain? I did stay out here when it was not torrential, and there were times when it was torrential and I went inside. This is my second bed. There's the first one. My second bed where my potatoes are planted here. So as you can see, I started to turn over the earth, but you've really got to sit down and get into the earth under there to really pull out the weeds. And it was just too wet, and wind's blowing a little bit, but we'll soldier on. It was just too wet for me to pull anything out. It was just too clumpy. So I gave up on the idea of getting down there in the grass, and instead what I started to do was just mark out my third bed. I'm hoping now that we've had the rain for the day. It is blue sky up there, so I'm hoping that the ground will very quickly start to dry out so that I can actually get down and start digging, because otherwise I'm not going to achieve what I want to achieve today. One of my allotment neighbours said to me, you know, should I use the rotivator? And he's right, it'll be a lot quicker. But if I was going to do that, it really needed to be at the start of the spring when there was still a bit of frost on the ground to break the earth up, before the weeds and everything have got hold, which they really have now. I genuinely believe that, you know, if I did rotivate it, all that would happen is that I'd create millions and millions of weeds where there used to be one or two. So we'll press on the way that we're doing. We'll hopefully get there, and I'll show you what I've done when I get to an equivalent break. Right, okay. We're finishing for the day now. It's been a bit of a frustrating day because what the rain, I couldn't actually get sat down in the ground comfortably to really get going, and also the rain sort of made the earth clump up, so I didn't get it achieved what I wanted to, but I'll show you what I have done. If we look, here's the top of my second bed. Coming along, coming along, coming along, coming along, coming along, coming along. Did he make it to the end? No, he actually didn't. But we got some done. Got a bit more dug over, ready for tomorrow when I get here. This is Making use of a wheelbarrow, which seems to be a bit of a foundling, possibly belonged to the previous occupant. It's been sitting there for weeks and nobody's been doing anything with it. So I thought I could do something with it, and that's been very useful today. I showed you earlier that I also started to cut out the design for the third bed. Now something really interesting is going on here. Because everything is very, very stony suddenly. And I don't know if that's because somebody at some stage has put paths down and it's earthed over, but it's very difficult to get my fork in along here, so I'm going to have to investigate. Absolutely no problem on the other side getting towards the end, but what I need to do is to cut in all along here, from there all the way along here to that peg, so that we've got the third bed dug. Now I'm probably not going to get around to digging that tomorrow. My plan tomorrow is to finish the second bed and to get these potatoes planted in the ground, because they're now getting quite large, much too large to be sharing this bucket. I'm still trying to figure out what this is, and hopefully somebody can tell me. I'll talk to some people in the know and see if I can find out. Still to do tomorrow. I'm hoping that it's a finer day, so we'll get things finished. Ultimately the rain beat me today for the first part, and so I've only really been able to spend sort of 2-3 hours to do the things that I wanted. But onwards and upwards, we'll carry on, and I'll see you in the next video, which hopefully is going to be tomorrow. Take care, bye.